Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about your Zodiac Relic. This is something you unlock pretty early into the game. It's actually before Void Break, so yeah, you're not playing for very long until you unlock this. And once you unlock, you can pick a name for it. It doesn't matter, you just put whatever you want. And if you somehow regret the name you got, you can pay 500 Fatium to rename it and pick another appearance. Which doesn't really matter either because you have the casts here, which I will be talking about later. The main way of upgrading your relic is by increasing its levels here, and for that you will need this material, which is the 7-star stone, which you acquire by killing mobs and doing daily quests. So it's a pretty plentiful resource that it won't usually be a bottleneck for you unless you're a big spender. For each of these you just need the 7-day stone, and once you reach the final node you also need ploughwood. Ploughwood you can get by planting the ploughwood seeds or from also some sources of daily and weekly content like Apex and the Immortal Banquet. It's also one way of getting ploughwood. Then once you upgrade this you will get one more G here, and once you reach the maximum amount of Gs of your current R, you will need Alioths to proceed to the next level. This thing seems like it's rare, seems like a valuable thing, right? Because it's legendary quality, it has shining effects, but it's actually a very low value thing, and you should never pick this up if you have the option of getting something else. You get plenty of these for free by doing Apex, and you will never be bottlenecked by Alioths, what I'm trying to say. It's pretty plentiful. So if you have the option between picking Alioth or something else, never go for Alioth. Don't worry about it. It may seem like a big deal, but it's not. You upgrade this to R8 and then you have casts. Once you reach R8 you can pick one of these and equip them for an active effect, which is the things we talked about previously here. If you have it at 1 star, any of these at 1 star, you unlock its active effect. And for instance, for Searing Blades, this is 12 seconds dealing damage around your character. It's kinda good, and it's definitely better than the blue ones. It's pretty useful, deals a good amount of damage. And the other stars are also kinda nice, which gives you crit and also removes 2 debuffs, which is a form of Purify. But for that you need 3 and 4 stars, which is quite expensive. You need a lot of shards for that. These ones you get from X-Server Duo and from Beastwaves event. This one is also from Beastwaves, and this came from an event recently. You have no means of getting this right now, I think. This one you get from weekly packs, so it's a paid thing. You need to spend money to get more shards. These two came from an event recently. You could pick either of them and get shards. The better option is definitely the Rune here. And you also have Gravelands, which is something that has not been unlocked yet for Global, but we will definitely be getting an event where you can buy shards for Gravelands. And lastly, you have the Inferno Blades, which is the equivalent of Searing Blades, but Searing Blades is just better, I guess. It's pretty much the same thing, but not as good. And yeah, that's the thing most free-to players will get. They will save 1,698 thunderites, which is for the Beastwaves event, the weekly event that rotates every 3 weeks, and they will have enough to get this to 1 star. It takes around 6 to 7 months for that. And as you progress your R levels, you can also get more runes. There's 2 types of runes, the basic ones, which gives you HP, defense, crit res, crit, and there's also the special runes that do something different. For instance, this one makes the enemy unable to get buffs for 2 seconds, which is kinda nice, and this one makes you have 6% chance of ignoring an ability attack from your enemy during 2 seconds, which is kinda useful if you get lucky, I guess. 6% is a very low chance, but if you do, you just ignored an attack of your enemy, and that's a big deal. So, how do you get these runes, right? There is the basic rune, which is pretty easy to get. You get from doing most types of things, like I think you get from Apex, you get from beastwaves. It's very plentiful, and you won't have to worry about getting more of these. You will get plenty of them and use them to upgrade the level of your runes, and you end up increasing your stats here. The most useful stats, I guess, are crit and crit resist, and that's because their amounts are pretty low usually, especially for HP and MP. That's basically nothing for me at perfection. But crit and crit res, even though it's also kind of low, the amount it's provided here, it's more meaningful for my character. But yeah. Then you have the special rune. In order to get these, you can do it from the beastwaves event, which is the same way you do for the searing blades, that cast I was mentioning earlier. This guy here. You also save the 1000 thunderites, and you will have enough to get the shards here, and also to get one selector for these runes. You will be able to pick any rune from a selection, and it will be able to be socketed here. There is also another option for getting these runes, which is not very good. It's kind of controversial. People don't recommend it, but it's an option. Is through immortal friends. For instance, this guy here at level 165 will give you a random special rune of level 2. It's one level lower than the beastwaves one, but it will give you a special rune which you can socket there. So it's definitely an option, especially if you don't want to be saving multiple times. Because eventually you need 3 of these, and for the beastwaves event, you usually just can afford 1 and the searing blade shards, so you still have to fill another socket. So if you just want to be done with it, get another rune effect, you can just level that guy to 165 and be done with it. Just remember that there are better options here to spend your experience on, your gifts. So this is not something you want to be doing right away. You have more important characters first. I think, yeah, there's also the hexes. This thing here. You use the hex manuals to increase its level, and at certain level thresholds you also need another special material, which is also from your sect shop. You can buy both from here. It's both the blue book and this scroll here, and they cost activity points, which is something you get pretty easily by doing sect content, like participating in Abyss. I don't think you get from Apex, but you get it from Sect Clash as well, which is on Saturday. But it's definitely not a priority. You have better things to buy first. Like, everything I bought here is more important. This thing, this. And then you can consider buying hex manuals, if you have enough points for that. Just remember that you also buy your recipes with contribution. So if you are about to reach a new realm like Nirvana, make sure to save some of these before spending everything on hex manuals. But yeah, it's an option. And once you upgrade your hex levels here, for instance, if I reach it level 30, I can pick one of these passive effects here. You can change between them for free, and they do different things for both against Corporea and against Magicka. For instance, this one decreases the enemy magic evasion, which is good if I'm Magicka. This one makes the enemy of Corporea type less likely to hit you. And this one reduces movement speed, which is not very useful, probably more useful for Apex, but yeah. As you increase the level of your Zodiac Relic here to 60 and 100, you will also be able to pick these different passives here as well. The same thing applies for this one, however the cost is a little bit higher in terms of levels. And lastly, this is the most expensive one. I'm only level 17 and it's already costing 400, and it also lets you pick different passives as you reach level 30, 60 and 100, which will take a really long time. But yeah, to summarize, you increase the levels with resources from daily and weekly content. You will be getting this from Sect Shop and increasing the level of your skills here to get some more passive effects that will help you in PvP. You get runes by playing the game normally, and it also increases your basic stats, and crit res is really good. Special runes come from beastwaves, which is something you will need to save thunderites for a long time, or from immortal friends. And lastly, this is to unlock better active skills, which here are the skins for your Zodiac Relic, and most of them are paid things from the events. And you usually want to go from either these two, or if you are a free-to-play player, you want to save thunderites to buy the searing blades at 1650 thunderites. I will be making another video about the beastwaves event and how to save for it, but for now that's about it. That's all you need to know about the Zodiac Relic.